Well, hello, welcome to Get Real with Judy Jewett. New name, Real Healing Method Spiritual Academy with Judy Jewett. I am your host. I am very grateful that you're here with us. Today, I actually have a guest that I want you to meet. Her name is Kathy. And we're going to talk a little bit about spiritual things. And then we're going to do a healing meditation. And this is something where you can just watch the interaction, be a part of it, not watch, hear it. And then you can just sink into this beautiful meditation of healing. And I do appreciate you very much. And thank you. Let's begin. So, Kathy. How are you today?
No, I'm very well, Judy. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. And thank you for being here. I do appreciate it that you are my guest. And we're just going to talk just for a few minutes about spiritual things, about difficulties going on, challenges going on. That is not just you. I am speculating everybody listening will understand exactly what we're talking about. Okay.
Okay.
So, in this awakening that we are part of all the life changes that has bombarded us and hit, especially since COVID, what's your take on it?
Oh my, that's a lot to unpack. I think that our world has changed tremendously since COVID, and that things are coming up that we could never have imagined before, and that so much is unsettled, and that we just, as we spoke about before, seeing is not believing any longer, and we have to be able to turn inward and rely on our intuition to determine just exactly what is going on in our world from one day to the next.
Do you feel, because I call you a awakening person. You've been on your spiritual path for a long time. You may not have called it awakening, right? But you've
Right.
received throughout the years spiritual messages or insights. Is that
I
correct?
have. Yes, I have. And at times, just moments of what I would call clarity, like showing me why certain things happened in my life. Like suddenly I say, oh, that's why this happened or that happened. I can see what I learned from that. I can see what I can take from that for the future. I have had some visions of people who have passed that would visit me briefly to let me know they were okay. Um, I have also had some other visions too to tell me things that I didn't understand why I needed to know that. But I just had a glitch in the matrix last week, and a week before,
What does that
which was,
mean?
well, I had something that was right here by my chair disappear. Looked everywhere for it. My husband looked for it. I got down on the floor and looked in the opening. I could see very well it was no longer there, and we thought our son had gotten it. I went everywhere, but I knew I'd put it right here. A couple hours later, I was in this chair, and something made me look down there again, and there it was, right where I knew it should have been all along, and it was right back there. Oh, I
It's-
mean, it's
I
crazy.
love that. I love that. Now, how I look at that as, and I've had that happen, is that there's a spirit guide with you trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
yeah, and I don't know if angels do that, but I know one time my father on the other side came and did that. It's like I felt like for
Wow.
me, my message was get out of your head. You're too consumed. You're too this way and just laugh. Like I needed to laugh. I could hear my father laugh to this day.
Wow, that's good.
And
Maybe
that
that
was
could have been
me
my
interpreting it when I let go of
right.
it. So, and sometimes things do. And the other thing is, you may have a message that could be telling you, you've got so much help. We're here. Ask us for help.
That's good.
When I
Oh.
can't find something, angels, angels everywhere. Stop, drop, and roll. Angels, and that's a trigger. But the point is, you could just say, "Angels, where are you?" Because we all are born with angels, and
Yeah.
normally all have three angels at least with us. It depends on what we raised our hand for before we came in as a spirit to determine how much support you were going to need.
Mm.
The other thing I want you to know, it also depends on you could be advancing, and then there are guides and angels that will change. They'll change. And I'm gonna sneeze, maybe. And they change. So there's another one that comes in.
Well, okay.
Yeah, they come and go. You have some guides that you're born with. You've had probably one or two angels that stayed with you that were part of your birthing.
Okay.
And they will be with you for they're your guardians, right? And
Mm.
usually there's one or there's two. Um, and then you still have other angels, that are there. So I feel they're trying to get your attention.
Okay.
Now,
Well, they got my attention. I didn't know what to do about it, but they got my attention.
yeah, now you might look at it as part of the matrix. So, what does that mean to you?
Hmm. The fabric of the dimension that we're in, I don't really know. I hadn't given it a lot of thought.
It's changing and it's going away and things are upgrading. Okay. I mean that
Right. Yeah,
those things absolutely, but I sense yes, I'm not going to take something away because what's most important is how you feel, but I want you to give it some thought. Do you ask your angels for help?
I do.
Okay, so you do on a regular basis, you ask them for help.
Probably I wouldn't say regular basis, but I do. Like most of us, when I come to the end of my rope and I can't do it myself. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to suggest you to call on them on a beautiful sunny day that's perfect to be
Right.
with you because it's perfection. It's light. I mean, and these angels, remember, angels, they're spiritual beings. Some of them have a body, but they're not human. Archangel Michael has legs, arms, eyes, ears, looks like a person, but he's never been a human being. And
Mm.
he's never died. He's never ascended. He's always been alive. And that's how all the archangels are. And they were here part of a huge mystery school that took place a very, very long time ago on this planet before humans. So they put wings on when somebody feels they need it. Then they put the
Okay.
wings on them, but they're not, they don't have wings really, and they don't have a sword. They operate in non-duality and they are pure love. So an
Mm.
angel is never going to tell you what to do. They're going to suggest if you ask them, and they can't talk negativity because it's not a part of their makeup. So just remember, if you're asking for help, say it in a positive way. So Archangel Michael says, "You want my help? Then ask. Ask in a way where, let's say right now, and I'm making this up, okay? I'm not saying this is your life, but you're going through something very difficult. And you might be saying to yourself, oh God, I need to do something. I need to do something. Is this ever going to change? And what have I screwed up? And what did I do? And why can't they understand it? This is our self-talk. What's wrong with me? Couldn't I have done better? I mean, we go through this with children. We go through this with our loved ones. But what's being said is exactly that to the universe. So an angel, how can an angel help you when you haven't said anything about love or happiness or positivity? And that's how they respond. So if you were going through a very difficult time and stopped and said, oh, angels, I want some love. I need a hug, right? Or you're
Yeah.
happy and you just thank them for just hanging out with you because it's so wonderful. So they can respond and they'll bring more to you.
Wow. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and that's what they tell me. That's what the archangels tell me, that's what happens, that's what transpires. So it is, it's very helpful. But I love that here you are. You've done so much spiritually and it's happening. It happens and you don't even know how. You're just
Exactly.
open.
Yeah.
You're just
Yeah.
open to receive. And you grew up, I mean, we've known each other since school, high school, and
Right.
and here we are in this small town, and you live even in a smaller out in the country or wherever you are, right? In a small area. And it doesn't matter because we are sentient beings. We are of God. We have a soul that is of God, that is definitely a part of God. We're never separated. And that's the part that's like, how could we never be separated? I sure feel like I am, right?
Mhm.
But we're
Right.
not. And so here it doesn't matter. And you haven't been through all the training. I mean, I have gone through extensive training and I've done many, many things for 30 years. And so I honor you how awake you are.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
you
for me,
really are.
that's not, I don't feel like that's any of my doing, it's just happened to me along the way, slowly over the years, things that, at first I might have ignored, but then the third, the fourth time, it's like, wow, God has really spoke to me. God really answered that. It's incredible. It's incredible. And it happened.
Yes, let me ask you, did you grow up religious?
Yes, in church. Yes.
What denomination?
Methodist.
The
Went to
big
Trinity. Know where that was?
the big Methodist church.
Yes.
It wasn't Reverend Pennell who was not from.
Yes. Way back then,
Do
Reverend
you
Patel.
know
I
Robert
was little.
Pennell lives in Columbus, Ohio?
Really? He's
He
still
does.
alive?
The son.
Oh, I was going to say he'd have to be pretty old because I was
No, the
very
son does.
small.
And we were
Okay.
talking, his wife was one of my best friends who has crossed over, Shelley. And so I had forgotten that he was from Portsmouth.
Wow.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
the dad, yeah, the Methodist, but okay. But I had to
That's
just ask.
funny.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we know that part of this awakening, okay, these are the three things that a lot of people are experiencing.
Hmm.
Or they have. And that is they have been a part of church, there have been a denomination, but something isn't sitting with them right. Something, and it has nothing to do with the minister, okay? It has to do with church, the
Right.
structure, the
Exactly.
teachings, the
Yes.
Bible, right?
Yes.
And then we're finding out, but wait a minute, some of this is not what we were told, right?
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
that's one thing. And then people are angry at God.
Mm-hmm.
because we're not taught religion and society, institutions have controlled us in how we are to grow spiritually and what it's really about. And to the
Right.
point where we are told in the Old Testament that God is an angry God. No,
Right.
God can't be angry because the essence of God is pure love.
Hmm.
God can't be angry. It's not a part of the non-duality. It does not exist. And we didn't know that. We were
Right.
told, and even though I knew it didn't make sense as a child, but I was told that, and I thought God was a man sitting on a throne up through my 20s. Part of my 20s, I just couldn't
Yeah.
understand it. And yet I knew God was love. But then I would pray to God, and I couldn't understand why my prayers didn't happen because I didn't know how to pray, because I came to God and being destituted. Like, help me, God, help me. I need
Yeah.
something, right? Or
Right.
God, why did you forsake me? God, why did you let the floods happen? Why
Hmm.
did you let people die? Why did you let children die? Why did children have to get disease? You tell us we're creating our own reality. Then why did our precious children have to suffer? Right? These
Hmm.
are these are a lot of things that go in a lot of
Right.
people's mind. And so though, and then the third one is going to be, so we have the control of religion trying to tell us how we have to be. There's a lot of guilt and shame. To be a Catholic, you have to repent your sins. Even a Baptist, you have to repent, you have to repent.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I never got that one. I grew up Episcopalian and Episcopalian and Presbyterian early on, and then and Episcopalian. It's like, no, you don't repent your sins. I didn't have to go to confession, but I had a lot of guilt and shame of things in my life. And so that happens because it also happens to our ancestors and the ones we know and the ones that came before them and the
Right.
ones that came before them. So here we are, a society of a lineage that goes back 125,000 years
Wow.
of trying to break the cycle of guilt and shame.
Right.
Now, the third, which I don't believe most people understand, is their belief system. Their belief system is what's holding them back as much
Yes.
as anything else. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. And I was just, and I think certain denominations, not to name any, make it more difficult because they have such fear of not believing every word of the Bible
Yeah.
and refuse. And I just spoke to an old friend of mine last week. I had lunch with her while I was home, and she was just adamant. I don't care. I'm not believing anything if it's not in the Bible. If it's in the Bible, I believe it. If it's not, that's it. I said, okay. But, it's hard. I just had to be quiet. I couldn't. uh,
It is very, very hard. Now, I know I said something against Catholics, but I do want to say that some of the most loving, generous, caring people have been raised Catholic. And I say that because I've been in the schools tutoring kids in Catholic schools where I could feel the love of Mother Mary. And I
yeah.
experience to this day, I will just very kind people, and I'll say, were you raised Catholic? Because of their kindness and generosity and service.
Yeah.
So it's important that there's a yin and a yang.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
we have some religions that are very controlling and without going into naming them, that
Right.
try to keep relationships low. So not everything in the Bible is true. It's not.
Right.
I'm gonna tell
And
you,
you
it's
can't
not.
say that to some people, and
I
they're
know.
just terrified of not believing every word of the Bible. I guess, there's a fear of what am I going to hold on to if I can't believe.
That is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. And I know that I just in the early 90s when I began to wake up to, well, there are spirits that are, with us, and and there are things in the Bible that were taken out or was left out. And I never
Mhm.
thought about why. I just was angry. And that's why I think a
Right.
lot of people are angry and they need to go deeper into why are you upset? Why? Where are you upset? Because if you can define why you're upset because you were told things that weren't true. Yeah. But to stay angry isn't going to help. It doesn't help anything.
Yeah.
It does it absolutely does not. And so you brought up something very important, and that um is sovereignty and freedom doesn't come with confinement, right? You didn't say it,
Right.
but you were saying that I don't believe do you go to church now?
Have not been regularly recently. It's hard. It's difficult for me to sit through a typical sermon, but we go occasionally. Yes, take Joey.
Yeah, and yes, and I understand that. So what I feel that's what we're going to do is some releasing today around these areas. So in the Great Awakening, a person like you, and I'm going to talk about briefly dimensions because it's a human terminology to explain spiritual phenomena. It doesn't it's portal of energies is what's really happening and how we can elevate and move up. And so, in this world of us, we're told that we lived in a 3D world, and that is true. You go back to the way school was, that it was about punishment, it was about blame. Politics is very much about punishment, black and white, and if it's not, and there isn't any rules, then people walk all over you. We do have to have rules. But
Right.
in the growth of things, the 3, 4, 5 dimensions, the 3, 4, 5 dimension is now all connected as one. So if you know someone that's 3D, quote, they're very old, of thinking, they're not thinking about what if, could there be,
Right.
they're all locked in to the way they believe. They're actually in 5D. And so it's going to be painful because the soul of the planet, her name is, I call her Gia, but some people know her as Gaia. That is the soul. And she is already at 6th dimension. She's already elevated higher. You are at 6. Okay. So what's happened is people, and I'm throwing in something else with teaching. Follow me, because I will go all over the place. I'll come back, because we
Okay.
were talking about
Okay.
religion, but I'm talking about structure and falling into being really tight into something old. But the 5D, a lot of books are out there. We got to be 5D. You got to be 5D. That's ascension. Well, let me tell you, every angel, every master teacher, whether they have ascended like Jesus, or it would be Buddha, or Saint Germain, or, there's a lot. There's a lot of them. And I could name more if we needed to. Mother Mary, um, they had a physical death, and then they ascended into their purest energy, which is non-duality. Now, then you have all the archangels that have never died, yeah, physical death, right? They don't have this body like ours. So that they don't. So the point is that if a person believes that 5D is where it's at and they stay locked into the lower energies, then they will have a physical death to experience ascension. So,
Mm.
ascension happens when you physically die. If a person, that is what is so miraculous about what is going on. And that is a person now, because we are in the sixth dimension, the soul of the planet is already there. We're going to non-duality. And so it is huge and it's important. It's a huge opportunity because the people that I help and I guide are 6D. That they are. So they've done work that they have this higher learning of understanding, and yet there's a lot, I mean, there's a lot of things going on, right? The three
Right.
things that I mentioned is what's holding them from elevating more, and that is the belief system, that is of anger of some sort that's out there and angry at God, angry like we're stuck, like the heart. There's a heart wound with that. Or we don't know who to trust. We don't know what to do, right? And so, those are the things going on. Trust is huge, just like you said.
Yeah.
It's trust is huge. So the good news is we're here to go higher. We're here to experience our authentic self, we are in a position for our soul and our physical body to have oneness. And when that happens, you have a chance for this non duality, meaning your soul of communication with your soul 85% of the time. Like you can really, and you have so, when you're in that state, you become love. You don't no longer have the ego tripping you up. You may have patterns and beliefs and imprints left over from our ancestors, that's left over from your life, that will still give you a little learning curve, but you can transform it all. And that's what Real Healing Methods Spiritual Academy is about, is to help every person to experience and just to guide and do everything to help you become the best version of you. And with that is inner peace. And you, the big thing as I go full circle now is trust. It is trusting you, trusting the information you get, trusting that you're on the right path,
Right.
trusting that what you're experiencing is real.
Yeah. Sometimes that is a real trick sometimes. Yeah.
It is. It really is. So what I would like to do you have any questions? I want to thank you so much. You've given me a lot of time to explain, but is there anything of confusion that I presented or anything you would like an explanation with?
Well, I appreciate you having me here, Judy. I can learn so much from you. I'm trying to think. I don't know. I guess it's just hard to comprehend that we are in 6D. That's what you're saying, right? We're there now.
You're there. You are. And
I'm
the planet is, yes. The spiritual, the soul of Gaia is Gaia is her, that's who she is. She's Gia.
Right.
And Gaia is absolutely, there are pockets of non-duality already on the planet. So yes, it is a complete immersion now of continual
Mm.
growth and letting go of this, the energy that's locked down, that has been locked down, that is now surfaced to let go. And so if I may give you an assignment, and you may come back next week if you like. I think this is a very helpful way to learn and to help others. Okay. So
Okay.
the assignment is pay attention to your thoughts when you say it's hard.
Okay.
It's hard. It's hard. So if you're going to say it's hard, guess what's going to happen?
It's going to be hard.
Yeah. And
I am
so
trying myself to change my self-talk. I am working on that to be more positive and only think, which I basically in life have been a positive person. But there's just occasions when, you know, I allow a little darkness there once in a while.
it's not even darkness. All it is the self, the human self
Yeah.
that has been programmed, that has been hit by the things, the three areas that I've talked about. And it goes back 125,000 years to your ancestors. So it's partly that. And yes, there are things you can do. And so just know you're that powerful. Everyone listening is that powerful. And God, the Creator, says that we can have everything we want.
Yes. Yes, I know he does.
I'm going to provide the link. I do want people to know they can go to masterconsciousness.com, and that is my school um, group for real healing methods. You may join for free the Spiritual Academy, where we will be having a personal message meditation. And I feel what I'm going to do is today I'm going to go ahead and just share it. But from now on, I will record it separately and people can go into the community and they can hear it for themselves, the downloads. But today I do want to gift people with that. So they're able to do that. And um, I'm hoping that they join us. And I thank you very, very, very much. So that is masterconsciousness.com. So think about it. We're here to master our consciousness. I mean, that is why we are here, guys, is to master the consciousness and become that one. That is the ultimate reason we are here. And even God will tell you that it's a very exciting time to be born now and to be here on this planet. And we chose it. We're all here for this great awakening, every one of us.
Yeah, amazing,
It
incredible.
it is. It is. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin. Is the volume okay? Can you hear me okay? Because I do talk
Yes.
loud and I can
No, it's
turn it
fine.
down more if I need to.
It's fine, Judy.
Okay. So, what I'd like for you to do is, and I'm only sending out the audio, as you know. So, just if you will please, just close your eyes and take a deep breath through your nose, just seeing if you can fill up your belly all the way. And then exhale through your mouth, just letting go of the things that you may not feel like you understand, the things that's been on your mind, the things that you feel are keeping you from being as positive as you desire. Just taking another deep breath, letting go of any heaviness, If there's any listeners listening to this, you can move your shoulders. Feel, is your chest heavy? Or is there heaviness on your shoulders? Can you focus and be present in the moment? Because that is where the magic happens, in the present moment. If you can't, you can come back and listen to this again. I can tell you right now, it'll be towards the last 15 minutes. I absolutely went way over 30 minutes, but we did a regular podcast today. So I expected it to be longer, so it's not a big deal. So you can fast forward it to the last 10, 15 minutes. That's all you need to do if you want to. So take that other deep breath. Now I ask you to call on your angels and your spirit guides, the master teachers that walk with you. And imagine through your mind's eye, which is your forehead, that you're going to lift up out of the body. However, you're completely grounded into the center of the earth. So we're going to keep you still connected. So make sure you come back if you don't know how to do this. So I want you to imagine that you're moving. You see, you're up in the cosmos and you see this tunnel of gold light. You have Archangel Michael on one side and Jeshua, who is Jesus, on the other side. They are going to walk with you through this tunnel of gold light. And now you're in a field. Imagine this a beautiful day where there's some birds singing. It's very quiet, yet you can hear all the birds, the butterflies. You can smell the scent of the flowers, and whatever flower you like, it appears. I like daisies, and of course, I would have daisies and sunflowers, whatever you like. I love lilac. Oh my gosh, it's perfume. It's such a short season. Honeysuckle. We were kids, there was honeysuckle. Everything is luscious and it's green. Giant trees. And as you walk on this beautiful path with Archangel Michael, who is the guardian of real healing methods, spiritual academy, and every part of real. We have a modality too called real. And I'm honored that he is with us and he's with you. He's here to help people that are awake. And you could have Archangel Gabriel and Metatron or Raphael or Gabriel, Sandalful. Those are some. There's Ariel, Uriel. I mean, there are so many archangels. You may have other angels with you. I know I have an angel Tess, and she's been with me since about 2018. Feel, just imagine the angels and the birds, and you're feeling so at peace. And oh my goodness, if you're not a Christian background, but you're a Buddhist or Hindu or something else, you can have your deity with you. I'll tell you, Jeshua is heavenly to walk with you, just to give Jeshua an opportunity. He is like a representative of the Christ child within every person. And as you walk and you take a step, imagine that all the thoughts that that you've had around the discussion we've had or you've been listening to that has anger towards anyone, everyone. Any thoughts or feelings that came up with being betrayed, being controlled, hearing things you may be new to you and you're uncertain of. And it's like, oh, that feeling, let's release that. Let's release any time and anything that you feel less than. And if anything I've said has triggered you, let's just let it go. Bring that because that's for you to heal. I do my best to speak the truth. And if I ever come to you and teach you a concept that isn't true, I will be the first to tell you I messed it up somehow. It's really important to have spiritual truth. And so what I want you to do now is to put your hands out, stop where you are. There is a light in front of you that is blazing white. We're asking the Creator to come forth. And you have your hands out, and I want you to walk into this beautiful light of just allowing and letting go of all this, receiving more love and light, activating more of your light body, your chakras, opening you up. Let's clean out your solar plexus and your feeling world of not feeling enough, feeling controlled, feeling just uncertain, not understanding maybe some things that are happening in the world that's upsetting you. We want to open the heart, allow the heart to just open more and more, healing and letting go. We're removing the heaviness from the lungs, from the chest, from the shoulders, from any aches and pains in the body. Anytime we have felt like we're not enough, anytime you felt betrayed by someone, treated unfairly, or maybe you're aware that you keep having something created over and over again and you want more understanding is what's your part in it to let it go. There's a healing for everyone who is open to receive. Feel free to open up your arms to receive it. Your hands of God, of the Creator, your soul, because your soul will give you love. The love, the inner peace passes all understanding. So we want to let go of the stress and chaos. And we're asking for more clarity of what is true in your life. And give you a sign so you know. Pay attention to signs around you. Look at numbers. Numbers will become being mirrored 1 1. Whatever it is, it'll be 1 1, 11 11. It could be 2 2 2. It could be, well, it just it's just beautiful how numbers work. And just ask your angels to be with you when you get out of sort, you're not balanced. Bring yourself in, just say, angels, angels, help me. Come, angels. Take a deep breath. So now I want you to come back with Joshua and Archangel Michael because they have not left your side. You've been with God, you've been with your guides and stuff. And there's the tunnel of energy. I want you to take a deep breath, step back through the tunnel. You're now in the cosmic energy with all the stars. I want you to come back into your physical body. You've expanded yourself to the size of the universe. You're bringing yourself back down. People, their auras a lot of people's ores now are radiating at 30 feet in diameter. That's pretty awesome. And now, when you're ready, I want you, as you ask for more clarity in your life and more love, and to be shown the truth. And when you're ready, open your eyes. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, you look like you're feeling really good.
Yeah, I feel fine.
Well, you know what FINE stands for?
Oh, you did tell me that one
Yeah,
time.
so how are you feeling?
um, Free.
Free. Wow, and you feel a little, ooh, like really charged, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, your energies have opened. You're more balanced. Um, you should be walking on the clouds today.
at
And
peace.
pardon me?
I feel at peace.
Yes, 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 yes. And so we ask that it stays with you and everybody else. And want to remind you to go to, you can put in www, you don't have to. It is masterconsciousness.com. You can sign up for Real Healing Method Spiritual Academy. That is the free version. You get a link, you go into a shopping cart that will tell you it doesn't cost anything. And you also have an opportunity to go for the $33 a month. That's all it is, you guys, that you get all kinds of extra spiritual support for the month. So, and with that, God bless you all. You can go to spiritual teacher 1111. That's at Instagram. You can like my videos, watch my videos. YouTube is going to say, you can put in Judy Jewett, but it's going to say angels and masters is going to be the extra words. And then you still have Get Real with Judy, as everything transforms over. But I appreciate you. I hope that my videos are uplifting for you, because there's the next 38 videos that are a minute long or less are all geared towards God talking. So pay attention, because you will get a healing from God when it comes straight from God's words. So with that, thank you and God bless you.